Hi everyone, I just wanted to update you a little bit about some stuff that's going on, and I just wanted to prepare you. Just a quick office update. Number one, okay, super keys. You're going to find that a lot of Fauquier County, Stafford County, Fredericksburg, Orange County, a lot of them use super keys. If you do not have a super key, just contact me, or the best thing to do, to be honest with you, is to contact the listing agent, because a majority of the listing agents also put combo codes on because they're aware that a lot of us don't use super boxes. So also a lot of those super boxes have 1-day showing code. So if it has a 1-day showing code, even Fairfax County properties have usually 1-day showing. I'm sorry, not Fairfax. Prince William boxes have 1-day showing codes, and those are even Central Lock boxes. But the NVAR, the Northern Virginia Association of Realtors, they do not allow 1-day showing codes, but Prince William does. So again, if you don't have a key for some reason, you can always ask if there's a 1-day showing code. You can ask if there's a combo code, or you can get a hold of me, and perhaps I can help you. Number two, do not, I'm still seeing some of you guys sending over contracts my way that are that state your client's contact information. Please don't ever give out your client's contact information. This allows the opportunity for the other side to contact your clients. So some of you guys are still putting in the Virginia jurisdictional notice section. It'll say your client's email address. Just this weekend, Giovanni had to deliver notice, and of course he went to the Virginia jurisdictional and it said the client's email address. While we love that when we're on the other side, it is never a good idea for anyone to have your client's email address, because after the transaction is done, they will put them on their forever follow-up list, and for some reason, they could end up getting the business in the future, especially if you are not doing your job. So please be aware of that. Don't give. I always put my clients' mailing address, because obviously they're moving, right? Their mailing address is fine. And to be honest with you, I prefer it because it makes it a little bit more difficult to give legal notice. It's just a little trick I do to try to have a loophole in case they deliver and they didn't deliver properly. I can always say, well, you didn't deliver properly, which is what, again, it's very helpful. So again, when you're emailing, don't CC your client. BCC your client so your client can see. In fact, I BCC everyone, because I don't want the listing agent having my client's email or confidential information, and I certainly don't want my client to have the listing agreement, the listing agent's information, because sometimes our clients also will do contact the other agent directly, and we want to just, again, they can Google it and find it, but we want to make it a little bit more difficult. We don't want to reply to all kind of easy situation, because you're going to find a lot of agents will say things and do things that they shouldn't be saying and doing. Very unethical out there. It's a wild west, as I've said many times. So make it difficult. Always BCC so they do not have the ability to do that. Number two, no depositing directly into your account. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if I told you could. I would never tell you I could. You could, because the board is against that. You know that. You're not allowed to deposit directly into your account. So please make sure that you're not doing that, because if the board comes after you, you will get in trouble, and we don't want any issues, okay? We don't want any issues. Just turn it in and I'll write it back to you, okay? But also, please, we talked about this at the meeting. Please don't expect me to write you a check right there. Please don't do this to me, guys. I always want to be nice and I want to help you out, but at the same time, if it bounces and it creates so much issues, just wait 24 hours, turn it in, and I will get it back to you. You all know that I pay very quickly, so there's no issues there. So don't worry about that. Also, do not say totally renovated. There's been so many lawsuits, including one of my CE classes from last year. One of the guys in there was being sued at that moment for saying totally renovated. Don't say totally renovated unless it was stripped down to the bare studs. And even then, they'll sue you for something because the stud had some damage on it. So be careful. I like the people that put in there, many updates throughout. They'll say a major facelift. That's a good way to get around it. Be creative, but make sure that you don't say totally renovated, because that is a really bad word. The liability shoots skyrocket, okay? Be careful with that. Also, send new listings to events@moveforfreerealty.com. Brianna's doing your hot sheet from now on Monday mornings, and I would love for her to know if you have a great listing that you'd love to share out there. Don't ever talk to the client on the other side, which is just your customer, right? So if you're representing the seller, don't call the buyer directly. Again, it's totally unethical, and we shouldn't be doing that ever. Even if it is really difficult to get a hold of the agent, you can go to the broker next. And then maybe, like I said, with some of you who think that your offers aren't being presented, you could mail it in and with a little note that says, please give to your agent. I can't get a hold of your agent. That to me is absolutely okay, because you've told them to give it to their agent. It's not that you're presenting it yourself or anything of that nature. Never say vacant. Big thing in our industry right now. I know I've some of this I've already told you guys, but a big thing in our industry right now, vacant homes are getting vandalized and they're being stripped of the copper in the walls, which is ridiculous, or they'll take all the appliances. Anytime you have a for sale sign, you always want to make sure it looks like there's people living in the house, because for sale signs are an immediate target for criminals and people who just want to, squat. They need a place to stay real quick, like the murderer the other day. He comes from Pennsylvania and he comes here and he's looking for vacant homes. So just be aware of that, vacant home. So you want to tell your sellers always to make sure that the property appears to have people living in it. Even if you ask the neighbors to park there, or something, just throw kid toys in front every couple days. It makes it look better. And don't say vacant right in your public listings. You can say it in the agent remarks, but you really shouldn't say it in the public remarks. Please, please, please don't do that. Again, reducing our reliability. Tell your client. We have to educate our clients. It's very, very important. You want to tell them not to talk to the other side no matter what, because they will trick you into doing things, and obviously they're not representing you. So it's very, very important to have your clients know up front. Listen, I need to talk to you and I need to explain something to you. The other side does not represent you. They're going to try to contact you. They're going to try to get you to do things. They're very unethical people out there. I'm hoping that the agent that we're working with right now isn't, however, that may be the case. So you just need to be educated right now that there's a reason why I'm here. I'm looking out for your best interest, and I'm aware of things that you may not be aware of. And the agent on the other side may try to convince you to do things that you really shouldn't be doing. So please contact me immediately if the other side contacts you. And also remember, they're not your friend, and just tell them that you'll talk to your agent about it. But thanks for contacting me, but I'll talk to my agent about it. That's the best way to handle it, to be honest with you. There was another one. Variances. Guys, if you are agreeing to charge less, if it's a dual agency. You know my feelings on dual agencies. I do not like them. I think it's best to refer them out. Again, if it's a situation, short sales don't seem to bother me at all, honestly, because the seller's not netting anything, so it really doesn't matter too much. But if it's a situation where it's the regular seller, then we just need to be aware of that. So you know my feelings on that, but if you guys want to do it, I'm all for it. Just be careful if you're agreeing up front to reduce your commission in case it's a dual agency, then you need to understand that that's what we call a variance, and it must be disclosed on Keystone. So when you're filling out your Keystone, your new listing, if you've agreed already to reduce your price, your commission, again, reduce your commission if there's a dual agency, then you need to, when it gets to the variance section, you need to click yes. There is a variance. And then they're going to ask you, a lot of agents will call you and say, what's the variance difference? So maybe it's 6% normally, but if I bring the buyer, I'm going to charge you 4%. Then you would have to tell the other side there's a 2% variance. It's required to disclose this, so please do not forget. Okay, I'm noticing a couple people have come into the office with these listing agreements that say it in there, but there's no variance disclosed. So just make sure that everybody's aware of it so that we don't, we're not making any violations, okay? Also, very, very important to know that Sasha is new in case you haven't met her. Sasha's new, so you can certainly contact her. She's marketing at moveforfreerealty.com. And if you hear from her, she told me a couple agents told her to remove them from the list, but she works here, so we can't do that. So anyway, get to know her. Sasha is her name. I think that's it for now, guys. Going through on my list here. But anyway, hopefully that helps everybody. And stay safe out there. And you know where to find me if you have any problems. Thanks.